Hello everyone, welcome back to Shadowrun. This today is a very special occasion that is with everyone's favorite necromancer, Constantine Fontenot, the man from New Orleans, the New Orleans boy. Um, he's doing a solo quest, which totally we didn't push back over 2 months, because more than 2 months really, because I couldn't get my shit together. But now we're here. Now we are here, and what happened before is that he was contacted by a dude who called himself Papa Ale to go to a place called the Bar Mamba. And also, Constantine has this weird sort of rosary that he would like to learn more about. So...
That is the case, yes.
Yes. Okay. So we begin this in the Bar Mamba, right? So, Bar Mamba holds everything that it has promised. It's in an old French building, half submerged into the ground. The smell of spices, cigarettes, and deep weed is heavy here. The place has the makings of an Irish pub, except with a heavy African theme. There are animal rugs on the worn floorboards, tables lined with fake snake leather, and a huge assortment of tribal masks, shields, figurines, and other arts hang from the walls, collected from dozens of different African cultures. The music is not the classic New Orleans jazz you remember from Ungan bars back home, but electro-tribal beats instead. From behind the bar, an elderly man emerges with a broad smile on his face. It's Papa Ale. He recognizes you the moment you walked in, and I'm gonna get him on screen now for this situation. Ah, the Dollmaker. Welcome. What the fuck? Welcome to Bar Mamba, my bar.
And thank you for welcoming.
It has taken you quite some time to come here.
Jobs tend to take up a lot of time for us Shadowrunners.
It is true, it is true. So, what would you have to drink?
I got my own rum, thanks.
Ah, you cannot drink your own rum in my establishment.
Can we sell my rum in your establishment?
We can certainly talk about that, but come on. Have a drink on the house. What is your poison?
What does Constantine see lined up behind him?
Well, everything that you would find in a normal bar. You have rums, you have your vodkas, you have a lot of exotic drinks that the labels are written in languages and sometimes letters that you have never seen before. There's a couple bottles that is a bottle that is also in like snake leather, but this one appears to be real. You have a lot of bottles in animal leather. You have a lot of very lavishly decorated bottles that have also like African or voodoo themes. But there is, there's the Russian stuff. There's a fridge with beer, including German beer in the back, and of course there is the cocktail area with very, very strange ingredients like eyes and very hot chili peppers. There's a lot of chili peppers around. Yeah, so it's basically anything that you can order, plus some exotic shit, is there.
Constantine sees a wide array of choices and looks back to Papa Lee and says, "Surprise me."
But surprised you will be. I do not think you will, well, we will see how you react to this. I do believe that you will be, you will regret having asked me this, but it is fun for me. He goes to the cocktail bar and begins mixing something in a shot glass, right? Wait a second, I have to read up on something. yeah. He pours a thick brown substance into a shot glass, and then takes a tiny vial and does like 2 drops into that shot glass, and he puts that in front of you and says, "This is a creation of my own."
Okay, do you drink it slowly or do you take it in one gulp?
It is a shot glass. You take it in one gulp. Duh, be a man.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a shot glass. I thought it was a martini glass.
I said a shot glass, mate.
I couldn't hear you. All right, well, Constantine takes one gulp.
Do you take the whole thing or just one gulp? Because it fits into one gulp.
Yeah, I take the whole thing. I just one shot, one gulp.
Roll me fortitude.
All right. 11.
You wake up on the floor of the bar, and the whole establishment seems to be laughing. Your mouth feels like it's on fire.
Oh,
like,
couldn't I roll a resilience? Once per game session, you can automatically succeed a fortitude action roll of challenge less than or equal to 10 plus your twice your fortitude score. That'd be 16.
No, it's still not sufficient.
Ah.
It's your throat or your stomach. It's all like it's ablaze. It's like an acid fire, and everyone's laughing. And Papale comes around the bar and helps you up and says, "That, my friend, was scoffy vodka with snake venom." Don't worry, you're not the only one who has fallen over from this. I have fallen over from this many times. It is very, very powerful. This isn't just regular snake venom. This is, well, you don't want to know.
It's quite the kick!
It is very much. He's obviously a very, very, very happy man. He goes back round the bar and sits down and goes, "So, anything at all, you can ask me. I know a lot about voodoo, and if I do not know the thing you want to ask me, you can also ask me life advice if you want. If you have a girl that you're interested in, I'm a charmer. You can look at me. I can get any woman in this bar. Well, then I am the owner."
Constantine smiles at his energy. It's very contagious. He pulls out his rosary and asks him, "You wouldn't happen to know what this is, would you?"
He smells it, which, before even looking at it, he just grabs it out of your hand and smells it. Yes. Give me a moment. And he takes the rosary and walks into the back. You hear him possibly talk to someone on a telephone or comlink in a language that you don't understand. Probably something very deeply African. Or maybe not.
Lots and lots of clicking noises.
No, there's no clicking noises, actually. He comes back and says, "Ooh, I don't know how you do it, but you have, once again, you can have me do one of my specialties. This, I think, I am not sure at all, but this could be a very, very powerful item. Do you know how the planes work?"
I'm gonna probably have to roll for that.
Yeah.
I guess either
Learning.
voodoo or
Learning. This is like a general magic thing, so you wouldn't get to apply your voodoo bonus. Yeah, basically, I mean, this is not a too far out there concept. The planes, they're these sort of realms of magic outside the real world, and they're like the deep planes, like nearer planes, and then there's also like the far planes, the outer planes, from where things like the insect spirits come. I mean, you were on that mission in that church, right?
yeah.
You were on planes, and oh, I think your phone's ringing, mate.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Okay. Let's front then. Oh my god. So basically, Papa Ale goes to this. So yeah, the planes are like these outer realms.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it's pointless for you to have rolled this because Papa Ale would have explained it to you anyway. This one right here is like a plane, but it is, and I am only saying this maybe, it is a plane inside the rosary.
So you're saying that there's a space inside this?
Yes, that is exactly what I am saying. Isn't that exciting?
It depends on your definition of exciting. All I know is that it shot golden rays at a particularly nasty devil.
Yes, it could do that. Maybe there is something in there that protects you. Yeah.
Maybe. All I know is that the guide told me it was there when I got it. And I had a dream that involved speaking to the dead, I believe.
Yes. Would you like to speak to the dead? I mean, you know, would you like to speak to whatever it is that is inside this rosary?
Sure. Let's do this.
Okay. But you will have to come to the back. I'm sure you have a safety document. You have done the appropriate courses to be someone who goes behind a bar. You know, health and safety and all that.
You mean like distillery?
What?
You're talking safety courses.
Yes, health and safety. I cannot let you behind the bar if you have not absorbed a health and safety course, you know.
I
am just joking. Just come, we do not care about these things here.
Good. I guess your drink hit me a little harder than I thought.
Yeah, he leads you behind the bar and into like a private area, and he shouts at someone once again in this language that you can't quite identify. A young black girl, and she goes to man the bar. And it's like a private area which is just as overladen with African paraphernalia and voodoo paraphernalia as the front room of the bar, like the tap room. And he leads you to an area where there's like a big old leather couch made of like cow's leather, and there's like a chemical station with a huge amount of ingredients. What I will do now is you will go lay down on the couch. I will make you a concoction made of dream root. Do you know what dream root is?
Yes, I took it trying to find out what this was.
Yes, excellent, yes. Well, I am an expert in guiding, or neuromancy is what they call it. I can guide you. You see, if you go into the to an astral dreaming state, you will be able to find the entrance to the plane of this rosary, with your astral body. In your dream, you will be able to find it, and then you can enter the rosary and you can talk to whatever is that is inside it. Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, I remember you used a dream root for that to get that dream.
I was talking to a bunch of dead people on boats. Didn't remember much, I don't believe.
Yeah, I remember that now. The whole adventure, I wrote this a long time ago.
Very long time ago.
He basically, he's very fast. Like, you've never seen someone work this fast with dream root. He pulls it out, he distills it. You know, he puts on some smooth music. This is more like New Orleans style. This is actually jazz that he puts on. So, you know, you're half afraid he's gonna get it on with your body as you're lying there.
You wouldn't be the first.
And he makes this dream root concoction, and he says, take off the hat, come on, lay down. This is going to be very fun.
Constantine does as he says.
Take the rosary, take it in your hands, and put it on your chest.
I do so.
He hands you the steaming cup of dreamroot extract. No, he puts it up to your mouth.
All right. Then I guess I drink.
Okay. And now you fall asleep. And this is the exact moment where you're asleep. Right? And
All right.
this is immediately a lucid dream. You know from the beginning that you are dreaming when you wake up. And you find yourself in a cave made of dark basalt and obsidian. The ground is covered with a thin blanket of snow, as though it had fallen from the ceiling. And even though you are underground, you can hear coyotes howling in the distance, as though you were on an open field. Despite there being no source of light, you can see perfectly.
I have eaten my carrots, yes. So, I'm underground,
Yes.
but not really. I can hear coyotes. You sure they aren't dingoes?
I mean, as far as you know, they're coyotes.
All right. Is there any discernible object I can head towards?
Well, you could go forward or you could go backward. Both directions look the same. You're in the middle of a tunnel.
Huh. I wonder if I can precog in my dream. I wonder if that would work.
Yeah, the rock, basically, the face of Papa Jade appears in the rock. Says yes.
You wouldn't happen to know which way I should go, do you?
I always recommend moving forward.
Right. Just making sure.
He disappears back into the rock.
Constantine moves forward.
After walking for a few minutes, you come to a fork in the cave. You could go left or you could go right.
I can roll precog since it's been a few minutes, right?
It's been like 2 minutes.
Ah! That's terrible. So there's a left and a right. Well, I don't suppose I could see much with reading. Nah, that wasn't gonna work. Fuck.
I mean, there are no spirits here, really. This is a dream. You can see that this is a dream.
Well, yeah, but it invokes reading and lets me check the area. Like if there's been anything different, or which would be the right...
No, both tunnels are 100% identical.
Mm. Don't think I have any coins on me.
I mean, you probably would have something akin to a coin.
All I have is a dice, and I'm pretty sure those are loaded.
I can roll a dice for you.
It's the extraordinary focus. The only thing I have on me is a pair of lucky dice, and they're loaded. Let's see here. Left or right? I'll head right.
Okay, you head right, and once again, after a few minutes, you come to a forking in the cave. You You could go left, you could go the middle, or you could go right.
There's nothing discernible between them, huh?
No, they are once again exactly identical.
It still hasn't been 10 minutes to invoke precog. Not that I suppose it would really matter. Do I have the cross on me at the moment?
No, you do not have the thing on you.
So it's not in the dream.
It is in the dream, it's just not here. You must find it.
Oh, I must find it. And let's see. Is there any sound or anything at all
You can
from
hear
any
the
of them?
coyotes.
That's it. I can't hear them from any of the specific tunnels?
You can hear them only from the back.
From the back. Alright, I guess I'll take the middle path.
Okay, as you take the middle path, once again, after a very short period of time, you arrive at a forking in the cave. This time, there are 4 ways you can go. You can go left, middle right, or right.
I'll take middle left.
You emerge from the cave into a room you recognize. The creaking of wood below your feet is comfortingly familiar. The faded rugs on the floor, the old planks on the walls, the oversized replica steamship chandelier, the bookshelves heavy with grimoires and voodoo paraphernalia. You are home, in the stilt house your family owns in the bayou. But some things are different. The ancient tube television set is replaced with a black Christmas tree. Where once hung a collection of postcards from all states of the US that your grandfather collected before the awakening, black and white photographs of people and places are displayed. The only door is the one leading outside. An old woman you have never seen sits in a rocking chair, knitting.
I introduce myself to the old woman.
Okay, introduce yourself to the old woman, like with words.
I tip my hat and ask, excuse me, you wouldn't happen to know where I exactly am, would you?
Well, you're home, of course. You find yourself having spoken French, and you find that this woman who is wearing very, very, like, almost historical attire responds to you in French.
Is it Cajun French or is it just regular
No, it's
French?
French.
If I don't walk out knowing French out of this entire journey, I'm going to be mad. No, it's, is there like a mirror I can look into?
There are no mirrors. I mean, there are windows.
Okay, see if there's a reflection.
Yeah, you can see yourself in the reflection of the window.
It looks just like me.
Yes, it looks just like you. And the outside is dark completely.
So I asked, well, actually, I'm absolutely, I guess confuzzled is a good word. Constantine is a little bit taken aback right now. He knows he's home, but he doesn't know this woman. He doesn't know the black tree or the photos of all those black and white people.
Well, they're black and white photos. I mean, there are also black and white people on there, but they are black and white photos.
Yeah. Okay, so he looks back to the woman again and asks, "Who are you?"
Well, you should know who I am. Come on, I have been watching over you for your entire life.
speak to me as if I'm an idiot.
I always speak to you as if you are an idiot, Constantine.
But with love, right?
Of course I love you. I love all of my family.
So then why do I not know who you are?
Ah, you're too young to remember me.
So you're not going to tell me?
Well, you could certainly, if you put it in a little bit of effort, you could learn who I am. I've always rewarded you with effort, Constantine. I've never given you anything for free. I raised you well.
Okay, she can't be my mom.
No, she's not your mother.
Grandma?
She also isn't your grandmother.
Great grandma?
Well, you don't know that woman.
She's a matriarch then.
You don't know if she's your great-great-grandmother. She definitely seems like a she seems like a proper French grande dame, so she may well be a matriarch.
Are we related by blood?
Of course we're related by blood. You're my family.
How far back are we talking?
Oh. I scarcely remember.
All right. I guess I'm gonna roll logic to give me a hint here, but I'm pretty sure she's supposed to be a matriarch of my family or something.
What kind of logic? Yeah, you realize that maybe if she's part of your family, definitely this is like her clothing is from the foundational period of New Orleans. Which would coincide to the pictures on the wall from when they seem to have been taken.
So your Lady Fontenot?
The very first one. Well, the very first one in the New World. Yes. My husband. Ah. I love him so. I miss him so. Listen, this city that you're in this old world, in the old world that I left behind, it is a cesspool of snakes. You must be careful, because they will lash out, and they will bite you, and then you will be dead. You are destined for great things, Constantine, but you are not indestructible.
So then how do I tell which is a snake?
It's snake slither.
Is the lady I'm presently bargained with a snake?
Pardon what?
The lady that called me to kill the bad guy. The guy that has like that remember when I did that roll to find out like how many that guy killed?
Which guy?
I have a collection of her. She's the one that summoned us before Andy got fed to the crab.
Oh, you mean the Comtesse de la Tour?
Yes.
Is it de la Tour? I don't think it's de la Tour. The Comtesse. I don't know that woman. She might be a snake. She might not be a snake. She's certainly not as much of a snake as the people she fights against. She walks with pride. She's a grande dame like myself.
So, why are you trapped in this rosary?
I am not trapped in any rosaries. We are not in a rosary. What are you talking about? We're in your mind, Constantine, in your dreams. Oh, I should probably delete this guy. He's no longer there.
But I'm using the rosary to find out the source of it.
I am not the source. Like, no, but, like, you do know, you have to find the rosary in your dream.
Do you at least know anything about the rosary?
I know that it's not in this house.
So then I have to take the door out.
It would seem that way.
Want a swig of rum before I go?
I don't drink rum. I only drink wine.
That's a shame. I only distill rum. Constantine takes a swig of his rum.
Well, you can hardly distill wine.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Oh, good chatting with you.
It's always a pleasure. I'm sure we will be doing this again soon.
Well, I'm grateful for your protection.
Always, my child.
Constantine tips his hat and heads towards the door.
The door is locked.
From the inside?
It's just locked. There's no key.
The door is locked, Grandma.
Well, it's too cold to go outside in the winter.
Well, I need to find the rosary.
But it's too cold to go outside in the winter.
So I should set up a fire?
It would still be cold outside. It's winter. But a fire sure can't, hurt.
Alright, so is there like a camp? Is there like a fireplace?
No, this is a house made of wood, man.
I'm not gonna set fire to the house.
Well, I hope not. I live here.
So I can't leave if there's a winter. Can't set fire to the house. Has it been at least 10 minutes?
Yeah, it has been 10 minutes.
It's like I'm thinking more like Vladimir set fire to everything. Good, never let me down.
Christmas music plays loudly in the room, like 80s, like Last Christmas, like proper Wham shit.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, and the very next day, you threw it away.
The music, it breaks off suddenly.
I walk towards the Christmas tree then.
Yes.
I look at it.
It's a black Christmas tree. It's made of plastic.
It's made of plastic. That's not good for the environment, Grandma.
Well, it burns easier.
I've set fire to the Christmas tree.
The door opens behind you. You hear a click with the lock and the door swings open. It is no longer winter.
All right. I leave.
Outside, you find yourself no longer in the bayou, but on the open prairie. There is a large church on the horizon to the north, and as far as you can make out, it's shaped like a crucifix. To the east, there is a dense forest, heavy clouds of rain hanging above it. To the south, there is a city with skyscrapers made of glass reaching up into infinity. To the west, there is a great fire rolling over the grass.
I didn't do that, did I?
No, No, you burned a Christmas tree. Didn't burn that. It's quite it's on the horizon.
Okay, good, because I don't need that following me anywhere.
You hear as you leave the door. You hear your grandmother say, "Constantine, don't forget you must find your way to heaven."
Find my way to heaven. All right. There's a church with a crucifix. There's a fire to the west. Can't do anything about that. I can't stop that. There are glass towers, which I'm pretty sure is symbolizing Scientology. And then there's a forest, which I'm pretty sure symbolizes Druidism. They eat babies, and that's very unchristian-like. So to the west there's fire. In front of me there's a church. Behind me there's a forest with rain, you said.
Yeah. No, the forest is to the east. Behind you is the city.
Oh, behind me is the city.
And the
With
south.
glass-
Like you're looking north, and north is the church. And south is the city.
I have to find heaven.
Yes.
See, I dealt with the DM that like to play tricks on people like this by making it really obvious and then just ruining you when you chose it. So, but the church is a crucifix, you said?
Yeah, it's shaped like a crucifix. And a crucifix is also what is on a rosary. I just want to, inform you of that.
Yeah, I figured that much. All right, I guess head towards the church.
Okay, you start marching toward the church, and the warm prairie air hits your face. It smells fresh, like nature. It's quite beautiful. And as you walk, and walk, and walk, and walk, eventually, after about an hour of walking, you notice that the church is still just as far away as it was when you started walking.
All right. You said that a fresh wind. I felt that when I was walking towards it.
You feel the wind now. You feel it all the time. It's the prairie. There's a wind on the prairie.
Is the fire farther away? Is the forest further away? Is it
All
tower?
all of the things on the horizon are just as far away as they have been all the time.
And you said the forest is the one with the rain.
Yeah.
Is there anything particularly special about the forest? Because I'm thinking pine trees mostly.
Well, so it might be pine trees, might be non-pine trees, might be, it doesn't really matter. It's just a forest.
I press on towards the church.
Okay. You continue walking. But no matter how far you walk, the church does not come closer.
I see. I look to the forest. What does it look like? Is it still raining?
Yeah, it's still a forest, it's still raining, it's still just as far away as it was from the very beginning.
Okay, I guess I head towards the forest.
You walk toward the forest for an extended period of time, and the forest does not move. Meaning that it's just as far away as it was from the very beginning.
And you said the city's a bunch of glass towers, right?
Yes. They reach up into infinity.
Alright, I guess I head towards the glass towers.
After about 10 minutes of walking, you notice that this one doesn't seem to get closer either.
Constantine takes a seat. Just kind of like ponders to himself, I have to find heaven.
Roll learning.
If I had to guess, I have to pray.
You have to find your way to heaven.
My way to heaven.
Yeah, that's what you remember. That's what she said exactly. You remember this. You have to find your way to heaven.
My way. Alright. My way. To heaven. Constantine just takes a swig of his rum.
It tastes
And
good.
yes, it does. He just kind of sits there and looks back to the fire.
The fire too has not moved at all.
Is it any bigger? Any like is it any angrier?
It looks exactly the same.
Constantine Press walks towards the fire.
After about half an hour of walking, the fire has not come closer.
Find my way into heaven, she says. Find my way into heaven. I don't know my way into heaven. I try to help people. I try to do right. I try to stay true to my word. Those are the ways I thought you could get into heaven. Find my way into heaven.
Okay, roll logic.
Roll logic. Heaven is an emotion.
Okay, I won't give you the clue. That's a 9. That's pretty low.
That's pretty low. So Constantine has to find his way into heaven. There's a church, there's a forest, there's a fire, there's a tower. Fire, church, tower. He said the church is to the right of it is a fire, and to the left of it is the city.
The church is to the north, the fire is to the west, the forest is to the east, and the city is to the south.
Okay, I hit diagonal.
Okay.
I walk in between the church and the forest.
After an extended period of walking, and you're slowly losing track of time, you find that nothing moves on the horizon. It all stays there.
This is very obvious, or I'm just very stupid. Let's see here. Find my way into heaven. So she told me to find my way, as in say your way. Yahweh.
Find your way into heaven.
Into heaven. Constantine looks up. Is there anything above me?
Yeah, it's a beautiful blue sky with angelic clouds, really beautiful. The sun is up. It's like you're looking into the face of God.
I walk upwards.
You actually emerge in a hole in the ground, right in front of the crucifix-shaped church.
All right.
And the gates are wide open.
The gates are wide open. All right. So I walk through the gates then.
you feel on some level, subconsciously, that you are no longer in your own dream now, but now you are inside the rosary. And this is where things get interesting. On the inside, the church's walls seem to be made out of a single massive block of wood, the same color as the rosary is made of. There are no windows, and the only illumination comes from candles placed atop skulls hovering in the air. Everything is covered in spider webs. There are no benches, only coffins, and standing in the alcoves are stone statues of various lower that you recognize. In the distance you can see the altar, but it is too dim to make out what is actually on it.
It's too dim, huh?
Yeah, church is not well lit, to be honest.
Okay. Son of a bitch! That was just one. Son of a bitch! That's just mean. That is very mean.
It is.
Okay, so, actually, I should be able to cast light. I'm pretty sure that would qualify as casting light.
No.
No.
Can't do it.
I can cast light.
Apparently not in here.
That's a shame. So there's floating skeletons.
No, they're just skulls.
Oh.
They're not moving, they're just stationary, hovering in the air.
There's pews and everything.
I mean, no, there's no pews, there's coffins.
Coffins.
Yeah.
Alright. Can I sense anything in the coffins?
Well, certainly nothing that's alive.
Yeah, but is there like anything undead also?
No, nothing undead.
So
But
there's a bunch of
your senses
Go
might
ahead.
be a bit off in this place.
So there's a bunch of altars to the various gate.
No, they're just statues on alcoves. There's just one altar.
Alright, I guess that's pretty much where I just have to walk towards the altar.
As you walk, some of the coffins are actually open.
Some of them are open.
Yeah.
I don't see anything in them.
Give me a perception roll.
I have to roll all the worst rolls.
You see that there is the one you pass has a dead man wearing a suit in it. He's been dead for quite some time, judging by the composition. He has almost no flesh left.
Is it my suit?
No.
Okay, good. That would have been very awkward then. So I guess I continue walking towards the altar then.
Hanging on the cross is not your everyday Jesus, but a dark-skinned man with dreadlocks and shifting, blood-red tattoos all over his body. He's wearing nothing but a loincloth and appears to be breathing but unconscious. Blood is dripping from the stigmata in his hands and has formed stalagmites on the stone where it has fallen. The altar itself is covered in a clean white cloth. A glass of rum and a po' boy sandwich are lying on it.
A glass of rum and a po' boy sandwich.
A po' boy, not a pole boy.
Po' boy.
Po' boy.
Po' boy?
Po' boy!
Po' boy.
Yeah. You know, like the thing that they eat in New Orleans?
Oh.
Yeah, it's a glass of rum and a po' boy sandwich.
Is he conscious?
I just said that he's unconscious.
But he's breathing.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to remember how to do the communion here. So I suppose was the bread first, or was the wine first? All right. Well, I'm going to eat the sandwich, take a bite out of it, and then.
It tastes very fine, very good shrimp in it.
And then I take a swig of the rum.
Possibly the best pobo you've ever eaten. Also, possibly the best wine you've ever drunk. The best rum. You do not understand the communion we have just taken, my boy. Behind you is your mentor spirit, Papa Jade.
I did a bad thing?
Oh, bad is such a heavy word, don't you think?
Yes, that's why I asked, did I do a heavy thing?
Bah, you did a heavy thing. You did not do a bad thing. At least, not in most people's eyes. Not in some people's eyes. Not in your people's eyes.
So then what does this communion do for me?
Well, it has opened possibilities for you. It has opened a great mentor for you. He gestures to the man hanging on the cross.
Black Jesus?
You are still funny one. This is not Jesus. This is the most powerful Ungan who has ever lived. He was the mentor of all the Ungans you can see dead in this room.
I suppose this is the fate that will await me then.
All people die. Of course this is the fate that will await you.
Well, I meant more that I would have to spend eternity in the rosary, but alright.
Well, there are much worse places to spend eternity.
That's true. So he's my mentor now.
No, he is not your mentor yet. You can make him your mentor. He has great power for you. He is a good man, a true paragon of our fate. If you want to free him, and by that I mean be able to communicate him, for he cannot leave this rosary like you do. You must find the tools to break him free, and you must give him a refreshment for his lips. 2 little chandeliers like torches light up at 2 doors on opposite sides of the room, like to the to the east and to the west of the church. There are doors that you can see now.
So the tools are behind one of these doors, I take it.
There are tools behind one door, and there is water behind the other.
Constantine goes about finding the tools.
Okay. Which door do you go through? Through the eastern door or the western door?
Which color is which?
Well, they're both pretty much the same. They're like not like European old church doors, but like Southern Gothic old church doors.
Okay. Well, I'll take the right one.
Okay.
That would be the east, I believe.
You find yourself in what appears to be the French Quarter, but also isn't. It certainly looks like it, with its neo-colonial houses, metal girder balconies, and colorful neon signs, but you do not recognize the layout of the street. You've never been here before. Though there are no cars, there are many pedestrians, all dressed dapperly in suits and dresses, with fancy top hats and French umbrellas. The sky above is black, and strange rumbling sounds can be heard all around you.
The rumbling can be heard?
Yeah. It's not...
Is that like malicious?
It's not coming from all sides equally.
Do I know what direction it is coming from? Mostly?
There is one rumbling coming from your right. There is some rumbling coming from below. There is some rumbling coming from ahead.
And is this what is this rumbling exactly like?
It's
Is it just
it's a little bit like earthquake rumbling.
But it's not like malevolent or anything like that?
How can rumbling be malevolent?
I don't know. I mean, some earthquakes were very mean. So, I guess I had... And I can't go to the left then, I take it.
And you're on the street.
I'm on the street. Okay, I'm on the street, and... What are the pathways I can take? Left, right, ahead,
You could go
up, down,
left,
all
you could
around?
go right.
All right. I guess I'll go left.
Okay. You leave some sources of the rumbling behind you, but new ones appear in front. There is a... you come to a crossing. All the street just seems to be identical. It is not identical, but the style is the same. There's the same people running about. There's the same music playing. There's all kinds of different shops. A whole lot of different shops. Most of them fast food shops.
Okay, so this is pretty much just a bunch of food then.
No, there's also other kinds of shops. Well, the supermarkets are also food, but there's also
Is there a hardware store?
Pardon?
Is there a hardware store?
There is a hardware store, yes.
I head into the hardware store. I'm looking for tools.
The hardware store is full of cat's claws, which is a tool with which you can remove nails.
All right. Take one. Head to the cashier.
The cashier has the face of a spider.
How much do I owe you?
He shakes his head, and he points you at the door.
You sure you don't want me to pay?
He nods.
Would you like a swig of rum?
He shrugs.
Well, now you have plenty of these bottles, so just help yourself. Constantine leaves a bottle for him and heads out the door.
Give me an agility roll.
Agility roll, okay? Son of a bitch.
The floor breaks up from under you, and a huge, elephant-sized maggot breaks through the asphalt and consumes some of the pedestrians that are standing around you. They don't seem to mind, but the maggot also consumes you. You are now being pulled into the maggot's mouth.
Okay. How do I stop that?
How would you stop that? Yeah, it's a good question.
I suppose I can't use my voodoo cross because I don't have that. Shit. So does it have me entirely, or?
Well, your feet are still sticking out.
My feet are sticking out, but I'm in it.
It's pretty disgusting in here.
Okay.
It's all warm and glib, and you're pretty sure you have someone's foot in your face, and it's just the stench of rot, and your top hat is disappearing off your head.
How smart is this creature, do you think?
It's probably as smart as a maggot.
Alright, I'm gonna try to dominate it. I didn't dominate it. Son of a bitch. Fuck.
Yeah, it consumes you further. You are now completely inside of its stomach.
Okay. I'm inside of its stomach. Okay.
Well,
How
whatever
tough is
passes
this?
for a stomach in a maggot.
Gotta try this then. What the fuck?
There's no magic in this place.
There's no magic in this place. Alright, so, how about that?
Yeah, you rip an opening into the side of the maggot.
Yeah, I can crawl out of it?
You can crawl out of it. You're completely covered in maggot juices, and as you look down through the hole from which the maggot emerged, you see that beneath it is a street which is identical to the one you're standing on now. And there's a hole there in the ground that you can see it leads to another street that is identical, and so on and so forth for a lot of different levels.
Some portal shit. Alright. Well, the maggot... Is it still alive, or is it like...
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have minded you shooting it, but it also doesn't really care about you. It's already crawling up the side of a building and eating its way through the ceiling.
Okay, I have the tool then, I guess.
Yeah.
And is the cashier still okay?
The cashier's in his store. He's actually drinking rum. All of the pedestrians don't seem to care about this maggot.
Should I try to stop it?
Well, they don't seem to care about this maggot.
I ask one of the pedestrians, do you live with this?
He tips his hat to you and walks by.
Alright. I guess I'll just head back to the church.
As you go through the door that leads you back into the church, all the maggot juices are no longer there suddenly.
I hope those people are going to be okay. I head towards the other door then.
You enter the humid atmosphere of a jungle. Tall trees reach into the sky, and the ground is thick with verdure. Though you can hear animals calling in the distance, you can see none. The stench of rot emanates from pools of standing brackwater, and bubbles of smoke burst through the surface. Standing in front of you is a small table, pristine as though it had just been placed there, and on that table is a wooden cup with a handle.
It's a cup?
Yeah.
Does it say like Jesus loves me on the side?
It says world's best dad.
Okay, our world's best Hogan. Alright, so
It says world's best papa.
that's better. That's a lot better. So there's like nothing else between me and this cup.
Well, it's a table standing right in front of you.
That's what I mean. Like there's nothing between me and the table or anything. All right. Constantine walks forward, a little bit worried, considering that he just almost got eaten by a worm. Though he probably would have been digested at some point and passed out. He walks over to the table and looks around. So there's only these pools of water here.
Give me a perception roll.
Because that worked out so well last time.
You hear the faint rushing of water in the distance, but otherwise there are just these pools and the trees and the colorful foliage.
Does he want the water that's fresher? Does he want the water from whatever these are?
How would I know?
Well, I don't know what Black Jesus drinks. I mean, I don't have any grape soda.
You'd only drink Kool-Aid anyway.
Yeah, that's true. So there's a... So I guess I pick up the wooden cup.
It's not wood, it's ceramic.
With the wooden handle.
The table is made out of wood. The handle is also ceramic. Have you ever seen a cup? It's like a standard teacup.
I thought this was like one of those really old wooden cups.
No. It's just a standard
like
cup.
with a gold inlaying, like the Lost Ark.
No, this is
Last Crusade.
It's not that kind of thing. No, it's
All
not that
right.
fancy. It's just whatever you would find this in your kitchen now if you went there, probably, hopefully.
All right. Well, I pick up the cup.
You have the cup.
And there's 2 pools, you said?
There's a lot of pools.
A lot of pools. Is the water clean? Is it...
No, they are brackish. They smell disgusting. The water is green. There's a lot of algae in there.
Now, where was the direction of the running water coming from? Or is that
And farther ahead.
not discernible?
Fuck,
All right, I guess I had
swallowed a
further...
Tic Tac.
Oh, it was a good thing it was a Tic Tac instead of a tick. Or a tack.
Oof.
So I guess I walk further ahead to the fountain that I'm hearing.
Yeah, give me an agility roll.
Yeah, I get to die.
You barely, just barely make it. Climbing over the tree that is standing in front of you, this huge tree. It's like a jungle tree, but it's big as like a redwood. And you slither off the other side, and find that there is a fountain of glowing water there. It smells fresh. It looks delicious. It's amazing.
I put the cup in.
It fills up with water.
All right. And guess I head back.
You actually find that the door to the church is now right behind you.
That isn't creepy at all. But I'll take it.
Okay. You return to the church.
All right, then. I guess I remove the nails first from the hogan.
Mm-hmm.
And then, is he on the ground now?
I mean, he has, if you don't lift him gently, he has fallen on the ground.
No, I'll lift him gently. I mean, I'll
Okay,
put the cup down safely and let him down gently. And then I take the cup and put it to his mouth and try to get him to sip. Did he sip?
The man awakens, and his wounds, the stigmata in his hands, they heal instantly. He rises, and ignoring you at first, walks around the altar, and raises his hands. And all the fire, there's a lot of fires in the church that turn on like lamps, and the church is now completely illuminated. All of the dead Ungans and Mambos in the coffins are now standing next to their coffins, like statues, looking at him. Most of them are quite decayed a lot, but there's some who are in lesser states of decay. And they're all looking at him, like obedient soldiers. He takes the white cloth of the altar and swings it and puts it around like a cape. And as he does this, it transforms into a fancy suit the way you would also wear. And then he turns around to you and says, "I like your style, my friend."
Like yours too.
Well, I am a style man. Yes. I've been waiting to meet you, Constantine, for a long time. I would have hoped the search to go a little faster, but unfortunately, well, things don't always work out the way we plan them, do we?
No, not really.
So, it is nice it's amazing to finally meet you. He approaches you, he taps you on the shoulder, he puts an arm around you. Look at all this. Look at your brothers. Look at your brothers and sisters. These beautiful people who have entered this convent with me. These beautiful people, your family. Well, not your blood family, of course. Always remember your blood family. They're very important.
Okay.
I have surprisingly little to say for a man of your lively character, Constantine.
Well, I just got eaten by a maggot for a little bit, and...
Oh yeah, those are quite terrible. I wouldn't want that experience again.
Are those people going to be okay?
Oh, those are not people.
Are they gonna be okay though?
Well, they're not people.
Well, it doesn't mean that it's not okay to not want them to be okay, because I want them to be okay, and that's okay.
I'm certain they will be okay at some point. And you have once again made this my realm, so I assume that I can make that happen.
All right.
Well, all in due time. I have a proposition for you. You must know, Constantine, that... I mean, of course you know this. The Loa, they're not the friends of us Ungans, right? Or us Mumbos. They are amicable business partners. I like them, they like me, but at the end of the day, they wouldn't suffer for you, they wouldn't die for you, right? They don't really care about you.
No, they've told me as much.
Yes. And I mean, you know, it's a completely legitimate way of doing business. They have a lot of shamans dedicated to their cause. They have a lot of Ungans, a lot of Mumbos, a lot of apprentices that they have. And also, I should probably give the guy... I should put his token up, shouldn't I? Because I forgot to do that again. Because I'm not very smart. Yes. So I say, you know, I would rather have a family that I can trust. I would rather have Loa, which I can rely upon, because they're my friends. They're not just my business partners, they are my friends. Yes? Do you follow me, Constantine?
Yeah, I think so.
Would you
Kind
also
of takes swigs his rum.
Would you also like this?
So you want me to enter a friendship instead of a partnership?
Well, my friend, we are already friends. You have freed me once more from the confines of this terrible place that I have been confined to, as one says, obviously, because it is the confines of the place. Yes, that is precisely what I am saying. I want you to be my friend, but I feel we already are friends. We're at the point where, I mean, you've seen my dick.
I don't believe I did. I believe it was hidden behind your loincloth.
Well, I can show it to you.
I mean, if we're going to be measuring, that's fine. Constantine starts to unzip.
Oh, measuring. The bloke also starts to unzip. His is longer.
Yeah, that's because he's cheating. He's like a magic god. I bet he stole that off of some other bloke.
You know, Constantine, I was once immortal like you. I still am immortal like you in many, many ways. But I am now, as Papa Jade would say, older than time. Just like the law. You know why?
No, I don't believe so.
Well, you should, because here is the very important thing that you must understand. There's nothing special about the law. I mean, there is much that is special about the law. They are a great race of people, but they are not a race by birth, they are a race by choice. They have become lower from being mortals.
They become lower by being mortals?
No. They used to be mortals, and then they have become lower. They have founded the established nations of the law, of which the Jade are one. You are of the nation of the Jade. You serve the nation of the Jade. What I wish to do is found a new nation. A nation which I, Papa Lumange, will lead. And the nation in which you and all the other Hungans and Mumbos in this room will be Loa.
So you want us to transcend?
Yes, that is a very good word for it. I hadn't thought of that before.
Is that something natural?
I mean, anything that is possible is natural, isn't it? I mean, the Loa have done it. It must thus be natural. What is your definition of natural, anyway?
Well, it doesn't really, tip the scale too far that it can't be recovered.
It is part of the scale. The scale is an illusion, Constantine. The scale is everywhere at once. The scale is in such flux that, well, it may as well always be stable.
I suppose you're right.
Of course I'm right. I'm very old.
So then how does one transcend?
Oh, that's a very difficult question, and I am afraid I haven't quite found the answer to it myself. But with you on my side, Constantine, with you, my friend, on my side, and all the Ungans that have come before you, and possibly, not necessarily, but hopefully not, but possibly the Ungans that will come after you, we will find the way to ascend to lowerhood, as it were.
I'm not sure I appreciate being worshipped, but if it opens up new possibilities, I'm not against it.
You don't need to be worshipped. If we don't want to be worshipped, we won't be worshipped. Just tell your worshippers not to worship you. That's always worked fine.
Constantine smiles to that. So then what do you want me to exactly do then?
Well, for one, I want you to, go back to the real world, and we will now be able to talk through your rosary. I will be your conduit to higher powers of the Jade, powers that they would never have granted you, because I'm sorry to say I am more powerful than you, but I am restricted by the fact that I cannot leave this place. You can leave this place, yes. You can, because you still have a mortal body.
All right, so you want me to go back, and then from there you just, ask me or tell me what I need to do?
Well, from time to time. You can also ask me for advice anytime. I will help you become the most powerful Hugan that you could possibly imagine being.
You're not Slytherin, are you?
The what now?
You're not Slytherin, are you?
I'm not. I have no idea what you mean.
Well, Constantine's thinking back to his grandmother, and how she said, that snake slithers.
Yeah, and Lamange does not understand you.
Well, Constantine nods his head and says, well, this should work out fine then.
Excellent, most excellent. Oh, Constantine, we're going to be fast friends. Oh, yes, I already love you like a brother.
Wouldn't you prefer that I give you a body, though?
Oh, no, please don't. I don't like bodies. It's cumbersome to be around.
All right.
I don't want a body. No, please don't give me body. Also, I couldn't leave the confines of this place anyway. I am completely bound to this terrible, terrible, terrible place. Unfortunately, but you are not.
All right, then. I suppose we still have that agreement.
Excellent. Now, if you leave through that door, he points to the church door, you will immediately wake up.
All right, then. Constantine tips his hat, pulls out rum, and says, and just kind of offers it to him.
Ah, yes! He takes the rum, and he drinks the whole bottle in one swig. Ah, this is delicious. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And then Constantine heads out the door.
Okay. And boom! You wake up. And sitting in the same room, reading a book, like an actual book, not a comlink pad type thing, is the young girl that you saw earlier, except she's wearing different clothes. When she sees you wake up, she shouts, and Papa Ale enters the room. He goes, my old friend, eh? Well, you're not really my friend. Are we friends, Constantine? Are we friends?
I suppose so.
Ah, excellent, excellent. Well, you have been out for, he looks at his watch, 10 hours.
That's a fine nap.
Ah, fine nap indeed. I will charge you for room service.
Okay.
Just a joke, just a joke. One of my old jokes. And of course, you are a patron of this house, but please do bring your friends. We do need the money. Yes?
Yes, of course. And I do believe that you mentioned selling my rum, perhaps?
If it is good rum.
Constantine pulls out one of his rum again and offers to him.
He takes the bottle and he gets a glass, puts it in the glass. He like a real professional, like someone who actually knows his shit about rum. He gives it a few turns in the glass. He smells it. It certainly has little of the sharpness one might expect. Yes. He gives it a little try and he goes, Yes, I'm liking this, I'm liking this, I'm liking this. And then he drinks the whole rest in one go. He goes, yes, this is quite good. Ah, yes, this is quite good, quite good. I like it very much. Please, you should come by with it at some point. Maybe we will have a special evening where we can buy this, see how the customers like it. I certainly like it, but, customers are sometimes a bit cuckoo.
Absolutely. That sounds delightful.
How about next Wednesday?
That'll be great.
Excellent. Now, it is very early in the morning, so, we are still open. We are open at all hours of the day, but I don't know if do you want to be or do you not want to be?
Nah, I should be heading home.
Okay then, Constantine. It was very, very nice to meet you. It was very nice to meet you indeed. And I hope you found whatever you were looking for in that crucifix.
Possibly more than I had bargained for.
Well, isn't that the plight of our people?
Yes, it is. So, Constantine tips his hat to Papalé and to the lady and proceeds to head out.
Papalé bows, and you head out. And that concludes this session.